Hello everybody, this is Mr. Longo, and in this video we are going to start talking about some data and different types of data, and we're going to just briefly talk about graphs that correspond with certain types of data, and then in other videos we will go through how to create those graphs, okay? So this is, again, just an introduction, but data is information that is collected for a purpose. Most of the time it's for surveys or experiments, but this is where you kind of learn the who, the what, the why, where, when, how. And one thing you have to know when you are collecting data is you must collect it carefully. And also you have to understand what kind of data you're collecting. So if you were to just survey a classroom and there's 25 students in there, that doesn't really give you a good idea of what the entire school thinks if there's multiple thousand kids in a school. Okay, so you have to just keep in mind what type of data you are collecting, how big of a sample size, and all that. Your variables, those are basically your information of interest that you're looking to collect, and that is something that can change. Your distribution is how often some things occur, also known as a frequency. And then finally, we have a frequency distribution, and that's a way to organize data. And a lot of times it's just organized in a table of counts, and you can also, again, see this in graphs once we get to it, okay? So this is just a quick little survey of the gender distribution in my first hour class. So in my first hour, there are 15 male and 10 female. So the frequencies are the actual number of male and female in my class. Okay, so those are what the frequencies are. Now, your relative frequency, you would think of more along the lines of almost like a percentage. What's the probability that you select a male? So to do that, a relative frequency, all you have to do is take the number of males and the number of female, and you divide it by the total number of students in that class. Well, clearly 15 plus 10 is going to give us 25, so we would be dividing both of these by 25. So 15 divided by 25 is going to end up giving us 0.6. And this is going to give us 0.4. So our relative frequencies would be 0.6 and 0.4. Okay? Now, of course, if you were to add those two up, 0.6 and 0.4 would give us 1, which is what you want it to add up to. Because remember, 1 is like 100%. 0.6 is like 60%. Okay? So this is the probability we leave it as a decimal. All right? So that is an example of a frequency distribution. Okay? Now there's a couple of different types of data that we're going to collect or analyze in this unit, and that would be categorical and numerical. So a categorical type of data is qualitative, which means it represents a certain quality or a category or some sort of a type of data. Now examples would be just like we just did, gender, eye color. Even something like zip code, you might think it's numerical, but a zip code really just is a shortcut for telling you which town you live in. Or anything else. It could be height, anything that you can think of that just kind of describes someone or something, but isn't really numerical. So then obviously numerical, that's quantitative, which means there's a quantity, there's an actual numerical value, and something where we can take the average that actually would make sense. Okay? Examples would be average on test scores or the amount of money you have in your pocket, stuff like that. Now, categorical data is represented with pie charts and bar charts, which we will talk about in other videos. And numerical data will be represented in box plots and histograms. Again, those will occur in other videos coming up soon. But again, the purpose of this video is just so you can have an introduction to the type of data that we're going to be working with and some of the vocabulary. All right, that's it for this video. This is Longo and I'm out. See you, bye.